Good morning, this is Tom with the Tractor Rescue Ranch. So today I am going to pull this trip mechanism apart on this old case plow and see if it is repairable. From my last video, just to recap, when it's going to pull up right there to pull the wheel up so the plow will drop, it goes to a certain point and then it just clicks and it won't go all the way. So just a little recap in case you didn't see the last video on this. So I'm worried there's a tooth broke off of a gear in there or something to that effect. I don't know if that's the case. I'm sure there's no parts available for this. I'll have to just make this yard art, I guess, if it can't be fixed. But I've never been into one of these trip mechanisms, and so I thought it'd be an interesting learning experience for me, and we'll see what it looks like when we get it apart. The first part here took me a minute to figure out what was going on here, but what I have to do is turn this nut right here in, which will allow this case to slide in, and then a pin to come out on this piece, which will then allow this hub and everything to come off. Don't quote me on all that I've told you, but I think that's the way it's set up to be. Yeah, that nut's turning. That's good. It's evidently doing what it's supposed to. At least what I thought it was supposed to do. So evidently I'm going to have to get a pipe wrench and turn this piece as well. Oh, it won't take much. It's almost loose. Okay, just learning as I go here. As I'm messing with this, I noticed that this piece here, I'm going the wrong way with it to go that way. This outer piece here, I noticed as I was messing with it, it's been broke off. And so that would tell me that it used to look like that side. So with the lock nut loose, this will evidently come out the back end. So I screwed it in hoping to get, there's a pin in there. It looks like a castellated nut, but it's not a nut, but there's a pin going through there, and I hope to go in far enough to knock that pin out, but I think I can just unscrew this thing that way. So to take the slack out of these this piece. You can see this castellated piece. It's got different settings, so when you put it in one spot together, it pushes, depending on where you put it, it tightens up the slack on that hub. Okay, I've been messing with this, and this hub won't come out. So evidently I got to get this casing off. Here it comes apart in two parts in order for that hub to slide out. I also tried to, so that I could get better access to that, I tried to pull this wheel off, and these bolts here are froze in there. They're not coming out. So if I get the hub off, it's gonna have to all come out as the wheel and everything in one spot. So I'm just gonna go around and pull all of these bolts off on the top of this casing and pull it off and take a look in there, and hopefully I can determine whether I should mess around with going further with this project. Well, I got all the bolts off of this top half of this case, and so I'm hoping that it will come off without taking the bottom half off, but I don't know. Well, that was easy. I put a pan in down there underneath it to catch the grease, and it's a good thing I did. I didn't know how much grease would be in it, but looks like no gears in there. Here's the mechanism to loosen it. Boy, that's just like that old John Deere grain drill. It has a real similar mechanism. So you pull the trip lever and turn it. I'm gonna pull this bar off here so that I can turn things smoothly. Well, that's curious. It seems to oh. This is gonna work. I'm gonna be able to put it back together and use it. What's happening here, I hope this camera is lined up here. This is two-piece here, and when I get started into that there, it doesn't go all the way in, trip it all the way in, because the spring on that handle's not pulling it to engage. So that's the reason. Let me make sure I'm going to move this camera and hopefully get a better view of this, just to make sure you can see it. It's working beautifully. I just need a stronger spring. Look at that old rusty thing. It's no wonder it wasn't working. So, boy, that's exciting. I was thinking that this piece of equipment might be relegated to nothing but yard art, but that's all I can see that's wrong with it. At this point, I guess I'll go ahead and put things back together, put a stronger spring on that, and we'll give it another try. So I'm going back together with this. I just wanted to bring this camera up here closer and show you how to take out the slop in that. So you can see that those holes in that thing that looks like a castellated nut are different depths. So you just set up the one that takes all the slack out, and your pin will still go through. And interesting enough, this one is requiring me to use the deepest one. That would somehow indicate to me that there's not a lot of hours on this, but who the heck knows. Okay, it's all back together. And that's slapping back into place, just like it's supposed to. So, wish me luck. I'm going to fire up this tractor and go give it a try. Well, I got a little bit plowed here. I had mixed results on getting this plow to work. I think I'm to the point now where I put these chains on it to give it traction. It just will not work without these paddles that go on here to give it traction. It won't pull in and out of the ground. And I put those chains on there. I just had a little length of chain and put that on there, but it's going to take a lot more than that. You can see with these, there was one on every spoke. So that's what I'm struggling with now. And I thought it might work without that, and it didn't. So what my deal is here is I'm just running out of time. I don't have time to mess with that. And other than that, like I say, things seem to be working good now. I'm going to just throw another plow on the 4020 John Deere and get this job done. We've got more rain, another big rain forecasted on the weekend, and I want to get it all plowed before then. So I'm quitting to messing with this thing, and we'll look at it a little bit later on down the road. So the good part is, the thing that I love is breathing life back into these old equipment, and I think I got it to the point where it's worth saving, and that's what makes me happy. So thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe.